Look at this. We're not really surprised. We're not surprised that Davidson made the decision that it did earlier this summer. Steph Curry, graduate. That was holding up the deal. He had to be a graduate to get his number retired at Davidson. We all know he put Davidson on the map. We remember him as a sharpshooter in college. So the jersey is being retired, and it's a really big deal to Steph Curry, Marc Spears. You talked to Steph about this. Why is this so significant to him?
Well, he's first he's fulfilling a promise to his mother, also his father, that he was going to do this. I mean, it took some time, but I think he's been busy, right, Jay? Right? He's been
a lot of things going on. Chips to win,
raising a family, and I don't know that he technically needs his degree to eat right now. I think he's doing fine in his line of work, but that's also for Davidson, it is a must that you earn your degree to get your jersey retired. So that's why it's taken this long. But he has this great program that's changing lives and helping lives in Oakland. It's called Eat, Learn, Play. And they've fed, since the pandemic, 20 million meals to young kids who are in dire need of meals, but they've also pushed education and pushed books. So now none of those kids can say, well, you don't have your degree, right? His kids can't say, well, you don't have your degree. He has his degree now. And obviously, from watching some of that today, he was very, very emotional and felt great about it. And then talking to him on Monday at his golf tournament, you could just see him like glow up with excitement about, going back home to finally get his degree.
Marc, you mentioned the golf event that he had recently, and that was the conclusion of a 4-stop tour in which he really promoted access to the game for people of color and for women. And I'm much more interested in that than the LIV Tour, actually. What can you tell us about that and what the event was like and what he's doing for the game of golf?
Well, the event on Monday was to raise money for Eat, Learn, Play, but yesterday he had another event for his underrated golf tour. If you look at his Instagram and his social media today, he was pushing about Howard's Golf, the women's program, their schedule. So he started Howard's golf program or rejuvenated it, and it's amazing that somebody suggested to me on Monday that he loves golf more than he loves basketball. I don't know, but I know he truly loves golf, and he's been another, along with Tiger Woods, he's somebody else who, is certainly opening the door for a lot of young Black people of color to get into the game of golf. And so what he's doing with the HBCUs, what he's doing for youth, not only in basketball, but in the world of golf is certainly extraordinary. And he's one of them guys, man, and you guys know a lot of jerks in our business, and right? But when people say he's just as good as a person as he is a player, even as amazing as he is a player, I do think he exceeds that as a person.
Do you think, you talk about the underrated golf tour, he called it that for a reason. He certainly feels that he's underrated or overlooked. They just won the championship, got his first finals MVP. He got 4 titles overall. Do you look at this? Do you think he looks at it and says, wait a minute, like, they think I'm done? I got a couple more left in me. Do you look at the Warriors and Curry that way, or do you think, as some NBA executives do, that the Celtics and Bucks, at least coming out of the East, the Celtics and Bucks have the best chance of getting to the championship?
Well, first, going back to the underrated thing, I think that goes back to high school. Even being at Davidson, it seems kind of crazy that somebody that's probably the best NBA player that we've seen under 6'4", still pound for pound, perhaps the greatest player ever, it went to Davidson. It wasn't highly recruited. His dad's school, Tech, didn't even want him. So I think that's where that comes from, right? In terms of the Warriors, I asked him about, hey, man, you have a path to the 5th championship now. And he said, that doesn't even sound right. That sounds crazy that they're in this position. And like, but he's in, has an opportunity to be in a really elite special class. Yeah, there are a ton of teams that are going to be vying for that title. I think obviously, and Jay knows this from all his NBA years, like health is paramount for them and everybody else. But I could probably rattle off like 8 teams that have a legit chance. And now that the Nets kind of seem to be getting their lives back together, gotten out of the soap opera, you have to add them to that list. So I still like the Warriors' chances of getting back. I do like the Celtics' chances of getting back. The Malcolm Brogdon pickup was outstanding, obviously, or Gallinari's injury hurt. But I think that he should be back by January 1st. So it's very, very possible that there could be a rematch, right? But I know Giannis has something to say.
Right.
I know
There's
Kawhi
some good teams
has
in the
something
West
to say.
too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Morant might be ready to enter the chat.
Chris Paul, like there's certainly Embiid. There's certainly some other folks out there that Durant that think otherwise.
Marc, as we look at the Celtics here, and you talk about their transactions that they made, what about the one that they didn't make, but the one that might have unsettled and ruffled some feathers there? And I'm talking the fact that Jaylen Brown most prominently came up in the trade rumors for Kevin Durant, and you used to cover that team for the Boston Globe. What do you think that could do? And Jaylen, from playing at Cal and being an East Bay guy like yourself, what do you think that could do? Just the fact that, hey, after this breakthrough season for them, his name came up in these trade rumors. What kind of impact could that have?
I think initially it kind of hurts you, right? But then you think about it, you're like, whoa, I'm good enough to be in a trade rumor with Kevin Durant. I think if you're him, that's how you have to look at it. I don't think that the Celtics are shopping Jaylen by any means, but Kevin Durant is Kevin freaking Durant. So, I mean, if any team has an opportunity to get him, you got to give up something to get something. You don't get Kevin Durant for free. So I'm hoping for him that he doesn't take it personal, because he shouldn't. I mean, to me, that's a compliment to him. I don't know that it's dead yet, right? I don't think anything's dead with Kevin.
Okay.
I'm really concerned about, not concerned, but intrigued to see how it starts. And if this Kumbaya camp, and it sounded good. They got together in LA and they had lunch, but you can't forget what was said. You can't forget the feelings that there were. And if it comes off to a slow start, I think anything is possible for Kevin, for Kyrie. I just don't buy that a hug, a press release. We haven't even heard from these folks yet. Suddenly means that everything's great in Brooklyn, right? So I'm keeping tabs on that. I'm not just moving on as if life is great.
What's Ben Simmons going to be like after a year and a half without playing, right?
Yeah, man.
And that's significant.
I mean, on paper, this looks like an amazing team. It's a championship caliber team. But let's see what happens when they all really get back to work.
And that's a great point, Spears. We haven't heard from Durant. I mean, this is a guy, you say something on Twitter, like, whoa, Olden Polynice says something. He got to tweet Olden Polynice. He tweeted everybody. And now he ain't got nothing to say. Hey, come for Olden. Like, okay, let me ask you this. I want to ask you before we run out of time.
His comeback game is outstanding, too, KD.
Oh, it is. He's like, you have no impact. Olden, you have no impact. Like, oh, my God.
That sounds like something comedians do when they're on stage and somebody's heckling.
Yeah, he's
really good at the comeback.
Don't sit in the front row. Don't sit in the front row when Kevin Durant is performing. You're going to be part of the act. But let me ask you this. Before we run out of time.
Nice
the Lakers,
shirt, by the way.
I love this.
Thank you.
Fela. Hey, shout out.
Big fan.
I love Fela. LeBron James, I love the SI cover where it's LeBron wearing a T-shirt of his chosen one cover, and then his boys there. You got Bryce and Bronny on the cover with him. Now it's not chosen. It goes from chosen one to chosen sons. And he says in the piece that, Mark, he really thinks about, who's got draft picks in 2025, 26, going forward. He really wants to play with his sons. It's 2022, 4 years from now. You think LeBron, will he still have it in 3 or 4 years, in your opinion?
Well, one thing that is, wow, it's like young Bryce looks like he's 18, right? He's only a freshman in high school. Yeah. I wonder what his height is going to end up being. And there's certainly a lot of hype around young fellas' ability and game and stuff like that. And Bronny's starting to move up the rankings. Looks like he's a legit player. But I think when you look at LeBron, like they made fun of like what he was eating courtside in a little plastic bag. No, that shows you what, how he takes care of himself. I was at a Mediterranean restaurant in Las Vegas where it's fish. They're serving fresh fish, and it's very healthy. And he didn't think we saw him, but he was in the back private room eating out there, and I heard he eats there all the time. So that kind of tells you how he takes care of his body. He not only has put $1 million into his body in terms of the people that work with him, but he's certainly eating the right way too. So I think with the way he takes care of himself, technology today, the people that he's, working on him, I can't see why he can't play 4 or 5 more years. Question is,
wow, 5.
How good will he be? I think him being around isn't an issue to me. It's like, what kind of LeBron is he? And so when you've been that amazing, when you've been that great, can he be okay if maybe the Superman cape's falling off in order to play with his sons? If he let's go back to Ken Griffey Sr., right? Like he was a great player when his son came, probably was on his last days. So I just wonder, what kind of player will he accept himself being in 5 years in order to play with his sons? And, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe this cat got the fountain of youth. He never seems to get hurt really anyway. And he has it all figured out. Maybe he's got a deal with Jesus himself. I don't know. But if anybody can keep his
We all do,
body,
Mark. We all do.
Mark, he hasn't had the major injury, but he hasn't been able to get through seasons healthy. 3 of his 4 seasons in LA, he hasn't been able to get through healthy. And Mark, he can still clearly be one of the best players in the league, but it's that little edge, whether or not he's still capable of being the best player to lead a team to a championship. And I think the Lakers thought Anthony Davis could become that guy. He hasn't shown the indications he can take over. So for the interim, Mark, until his son or sons can get to the league, what can LeBron mean for the Lakers, and what can they expect?
Yeah. Well, but Jay, I'm going to go back because, Jay, I know you saw this. Michael Jordan in Washington, it's like those videos are lost tapes. We never see any video of Michael Jordan in a Wizards uniform, right?
They've been scrubbed from the internet.
All you see is an all-star game in Atlanta, and that's it. Like, you don't see anything. And in LeBron be okay being that? You know what I mean? Like,
which is not as bad as it seems. Michael averaged 20 points a game at age 40. Like, Michael Wizard is not that bad.
Age 40. At age 40. I mean, come on. Yeah. And think about the guys he was going up against. And who was in that league? You still had like some of the 2 guards in the league. Then Kobe,
we didn't
McGrady,
see the same
Pierce.
athleticism. We didn't see the same dominance. I remember Rashawn Leonard blocked his shot once and stood over him. And that might have been, all due respect to Rashawn, that might have been his first career block, right? But the thing is, we held Jordan to such an astronomical high pedestal. Same for LeBron James. Can you see him being 60%? Would he be okay with being 60%?
He'd be great. You know what? He'd be great. He'd be great, Mark.
And that's a big question. I believe he can play when Bryce is there. But
you know what? He'd have to.
When
he's so smart.
The Rashawn Leonards and the guys off the bench start giving you problems, is your ego going to be able to handle that?
See, I love this. I love it. We talked right up to the music, and we can keep going. But the music is making us stop. Marc Spears, great writer, great broadcaster from Manscaped. Appreciate you. J.A. and Donde.
Hey, love you both.
Appreciate you, too.
Thank you for what you guys have done for the journalism world, man. Both of you.
Oh, man, appreciate that, Marc.
Hey,
thank you for your service.
man,
Former NABJ Sports Task
you.
Force president right there.
That's right. I'll be calling you.
There was a time. There was a time.
I still got that wine. I'm waiting for you, man. I'm waiting for you to come visit.
I'm be in New England next weekend. Hall of Fame, baby, it's coming.
Hey, thanks for watching Brother from Another on YouTube. Make sure you hit subscribe before you leave, and be sure to watch us 3 to 5 p.m. Eastern Time on Peacock. Appreciate you.